Hello, my dear friends. This is Rajesh Mahapatra. I hope all of you are doing well and happiness. In this session, I'll show you in the lab how to create a new VM or Linux server using GCP console. Apart from this, I'll show you in the lab how to stop the VM, start the VM, connect the VM, and delete the VM using GCP console portal. Let's get started. Guys, already you know the Google Cloud Platform Console is a web-based graphical user interface provided by Google for managing and interacting with GCP services. To create a Google Compute Engine VM instance, you have a GCP account. Within your GCP account, you need to create a project. A project acts as an organizational unit within the GCP and helps you manage and organize your resources. You can create a project through the Google Cloud Console. Guys, if you miss the GCP console lecture session, please watch this. I had explained more details about how to create a new projects for your GCP account. Guys, the ensure that the billing is enabled for your GCP account and project GC instance incur the cost based on usage. So a valid billing account must be associated with your project, and make sure you have unnecessary IAM roles and permission to create and manage GC instances. IAM allows you to control access to resources within your project. Guys, I'll explain more details about the IAM, identity and access management, in the upcoming lecture session. You may need to set up the appropriate networking components to ensure the connectivity and security for your GCE instances like virtual private network, VPC, subnet, firewall rules, and configuring the network routes. Guys, let's consider one example for a customer or client requirement to create a new virtual machine in Google Cloud Platform. As you can see here, the customer requirement like create a new Linux server name is GCP console Linux server, and guys, the select the regions US Central and zone is US Central 1B, and select the machine series as E2 and machine type is E2 medium, and select the operating system, the Debian, and the boot disk type. And guys, the configure the network setting as default. It means you should configure your VPC as default and subnet also default to create a GC instances. And guys, allows the HTTP and HTTP traffics to the GC instances. This is your customer requirement. Guys, as you can see here, these are the following steps that you can follow to create a new virtual machine in Google Cloud Platform. Guys, let's move to the lab session. I'll show you the multiple labs with different zones, regions, and I'll show you how to choose a machine type with present amounts of vCPU and memory, and that suits most workload, and it would be helpful for you to select the correct VMs as per your customer requirement. Guys, let's navigate to our lab session. Guys, as you can see here, this is the Google console page. To create a new VM, you should have access to the Google Cloud Console. Then go to your GCP console web page and sign in to your GCP account credential detail. Already I had login, guys. So as you can see here, this is the GCP console page. And if you have a multiple project, guys, then make sure you select the appropriate projects where you want to create the GCP instances. Guys, as you can see here, I have two projects here. Based on my requirement, I will select the appropriate project here. For an example, just I'll select my first project here, and I want to create the GCP instance in this project. Similarly, guys, you can select the appropriate project where you want to create the GCP instance based on your customer requirement or for your project requirement. Secondly guys, go to that API service says in the navigation menu bar as you can see here and click on library. This is the search tab guys. In search tab you can write your service name like Compute Engine API. And click here guys. Here as you can see here, now it will showing like that manage is a button tab here, because guys I already activate my Google Compute Engine API here, but there is a option for enable button, and click the enable button and wait a couple of seconds to activate it. I'll show you the similar example for other services like secret manager. Let's move to back. Guys, as you can see here, this is the enable button visible now. Guys, just click here and wait a couple of seconds to activate it. Now as you can see here, this is the secret manager API console page. Guys, the similar way you can do Google Compute Engine API, activate your system fast, then you will able to create a new virtual machine for your Google Cloud console or Google Cloud account. You can navigate to the menu bar and click on the Compute Engine. As you can see here guys, just I click on Compute Engine service here. Then guys, click the create button to create a new instance. Guys, here the create instance as you can see here, and as below also a create instance is visible here. Guys, now click the create instance here. Now you can configure your instance detail based on your customer requirement. First of all, I will explain the required information field details so that you can easily understand and create a new VM based on your customer requirement. Guys, in this lab I will show you in multiple ways how to create a new Linux server with different OS, different machine types, different regions and zones, so that you can easily understand it. You configure the VM instance. First of all, the information required field is name. As you can see here, enter a name for your VM instances or server. Name must be start with a lowercase letter. Guys, as you can see here, Linux server. For an example, like just I'll write the first letter is the capital letter, then error will be pop up here. Guys, name must be consist of a lowercase letter A to Z and numbers and hyphen. Name must be start with a lowercase letter as I said guys. Then write a name of your VM instance starting with a lowercase letter. Then guys, regions and zones as you can see here. Guys, select the regions and zone where you want to new VM to be located. Guys, as you can see here, the multiple regions zones option are available here to create a new VM. Just guys, as you can see here, this is the Americas, all the regions are available here. Europe, all the regions are available here. Asia, all the regions are available here. Similarly guys, in zone section, suppose as based on your client requirement, the US Central, then you have to select your zones like US Central B or US Central C based on your requirement, and each regions having the multiple zones available here guys, and based on your project requirement just you can select it here. Guys, next is machine configuration. As you can see here, under the machine configuration, select the desired machine types like E2, C3, N2, N2D, T2A, T2D, N1 based on your requirement guys, which determines the number of CPU cores and amount of RAM allocated to the instance. You can select here N2, E2, T2A, N1 based on your customer requirement. Now just select the E2 as per your customer requirement guys here. And guys, as you can see here, machine type and the different types of machine types are available here: E2 micro, E2 small, E2 medium, based on your customer requirement. And you can select here E2 standard 2, E2 standard 4, E2 standard 8. Next, as you can see here, the container section. And guys, you can deploy a container to this VM instance by using the container optimized OS. Just you have to write your container image and select your required information field and select here. Then you can deploy your container to this virtual machine by using the container optimized OS image, guys. We will learn more details about our upcoming session, guys. Then guys, boot disk. In the boot disk section, click on change button here. Guys, as you can see here, the multiple types of images are available here: public image, custom image snapshot, archive snapshot, existing disk. As you can see here, this is the operating system. Suppose as your customer requirement like the Debian, then you have to select for the Debian, Ubuntu, Red Hat Enterprise Linux, and Windows Server. Guys, this is the operating system version. Based on your requirement, you have to select it here. And boot disk type, this is balanced persistent disk, extreme persistent disk, SSD, standard persistent disk are available here. Guys, and as you can see here, this is the size based on your persistent disk size. Then you have to select it like 20, 50 GB, whatever you want. And guys, click on the show advanced configuration button here. As you can see here, the deletion rule and encryption tab is here. At the time of deletion your virtual machine then automatically deleted the boot disk as well. Suppose you can select the delete boot disk, then automatically it will delete your boot disk at the time of virtual machine deletion, guys. If you select the key boot disk, then it is not deleted at the time of VM deletion, but defaults the GCP provided to the customer as a default to boot disk, but based on your requirement, guys, you can select it. And as you can see your encryption here, Google Cloud provides the security your data. By default, Google Cloud manages the encryption key enable, as you can see here, and data is encrypted automatically. Guys, this is the beauty of Google Cloud. Then guys, select here. But guys, the snapshot schedule detail will be learn more about our upcoming session. Identity and API, as you can see here, you can select your service account in access scope, select as allow default access. As you can see here, no need to change here anything, guys. But you have a multiple service account, then select your service account based on your project requirement, guys. But in access scope, as you can see here, allows default access, no need to change anything here, guys. Then next is guys, firewall rule. Guys, by default SSH port 22 is allowed for the Linux VM. You can customize firewall rule as per your requirement. Choose whether you want to allow HTTP or HTTPS traffic to the instance. Then click here and click here. Then guys, click on advanced option tab here. Configure the network settings such as VPC network, subnet for VMs. Click on here, then scroll down. As you can see here, this is the default VPC as I selected here, because guys, I don't have any private network now, so I select default network as here. And guys, disk, if you want to add the additional disk or attach the existing disk based on your requirement, here there is a option, guys. Suppose add a new disk, then the size is 100 and whatever the disk size name, and you have to fill all the information based on your requirement, then save it, guys. And if you want to attach existing disk, then select here for your existing disk here, then save it. automatically attach the new virtual machine with your existing disk here. Guys, as you can see here, Google Cloud provided the shielded VM to the customer, and you know guys, it is more secure and hacker unable to attack this VM. And lastly guys, the management, you can set up your startup script that will run when your instance boot or off or restart. Guys, as you can see here, this is the automation script section. You can choose specify startup script that will run when your instance boost off or restart, and nothing is required from guys here. That is enough for you to learn and create a new virtual machine. Guys, I hope so now you understand all the information field clearly. Guys, let's create a new virtual server for different region and different operating system. Guys, just click on the create instance button here and fill the name of the virtual server 101. I added here. Guys, now I'll change the Europe. Just I select the Europe West to London region here, and guys, as you can see here, the monthly estimate cost for that new server like $32.71. And guys, now just I change the machine configuration like N2 machine. Guys, as you can see here, $74.27. And guys, for an example, just I'll change the N1. This is $32. Guys, suppose guys my requirement is N2 machine type, and guys, you know, just you have to select the N2 standard 2, N2 standard 4, N2 standard 8, N2 standard 6 in based on your requirement. Guys, I select here guys N2 standard 2, and guys, now just we'll change the operating system. Just we'll select other operating system like Ubuntu here, and this is the version. Guys, just click on select here. You know, just allow the traffic HTTP and HTTPS to our new virtual server. Thing change from here because already you know I select for the networking for default VPC and default subnet here. Just done it. Guys, now just click create here and wait a couple of seconds to your new virtual server startup. Guys, as you can see here, now the new virtual server 101 is running now. Similarly, just you can connect upon in browser window to click to connect your new virtual server. It will take couple of seconds to start for a new web browser. Click on authorize here. Now as you can see here, now it is showing us the current directory. And guys, similarly, just you if you want to exit here, write the exit command here, or just you have to close the browser directly here. I hope you understand what is the comparison in between the pricing for divisions and zones based on your requirement. Just you have to deploy your virtual server in different regions and zone. In this lab, I'll guide you how to stop the VM, start the VM, delete the VM in Google Compute Engine portal. I'll show you in the lab how to stop the VM first. Then secondly, I'll show you in the lab how to start the VM, and finally I'll show you in the lab how to delete your VM permanently in Google Compute Engine portal. Guys, first of all, I am going to show you how do you stop your running Linux server in Google Compute Engine portal. As you can see here, virtual server 101 is available here. Now guys, as you can see here, first of all, just you select your virtual server 101 here. Guys, click on checkbox as you can see here. Then all the icon button is visible in this Google Compute Engine portal. As you can see here, this is the stop button icon, this is the suspend button icon, this is the reset, and this is the delete button icon, and more. Guys, first of all, I am going to show you how to stop your running Linux server in this Google Compute Engine portal. Guys, in multiple ways you can stop your running VM. First, as you can see here, this is the stop icon button available here, and similarly guys, you can click on three dot here, and as you can see here also, the stop button icon is available here. If you want to click on here, or if you want to click on here, then similarly guys, I'll show you. This is a stop virtual server 101, then click on stop here, or you can click on the stop button icon here, then click on stop here, then wait a couple of seconds to stop your virtual server 101 Linux server. Guys, click on refresh here, and as you can see here, the status of virtual server 101, the instance is being stopped now. Guys, in this way you can practice to stop your virtual server in this Compute Engine portal. Guys, as you can see here, the virtual server is stopped now. Secondly guys, if you want to resume or start the virtual server again, then click on the start or resume button icon available here, or you can click on three dot button here and click on the start resume here, then click on start here guys, and wait a couple of seconds and click on refresh here. This instance is being staged and will soon being running, and wait a couple of seconds guys, then again click on refresh button here. As you can see here, this instance is running now. Now guys, if you want to remove or delete your Linux server permanently in this Google Compute Engine web portal, then click on delete button icon available here, as you can see here, and also available here also guys. There is multiple option for you if you want to click on here or if you want to click on here. Now click on delete here, then wait a couple of seconds. Sometimes it might be take 1 minute to shut down your VM permanently. Guys, click on refresh button here. As you can see here, the status of VM is being stopped now. As you can see here, the instance is being permanently deleted here, and click on refresh button here again guys. As you can see here, there is no virtual machine is available in Compute Engine web portal. Now I hope so you can understand how to stop the VM, how to start the VM, and how to delete the VM in Google Compute Engine web portal. In this session, I'll show you in the lab how to create a new virtual server or Linux server in multiple regions and zones and different machine type also. I'll guide you how do you create a new Linux server. Guys, first of all, you click on create instance here, then name of the server, (102). Now I'll select here for guys Europe West to London, and E2 machine type here guys. Now I'll select here E2 small. The machine series is E2 and machine type is E2 small. As you can see here, the monthly estimate cost is approximately $17. Then leave it everything guys here. Now I'll change it the operating system Debian to Ubuntu, and click on select here and click on firewall rule, allow HTTP and HTTPS traffic here. Then as you can see here, the networking section I select as it is the default VPC and default subnet. Then click on create here and wait a couple of seconds to start your new virtual server here. Guys, click on refresh button here. As you can see here, this instance is running now. the virtual server 102 and the zone is Europe West to C. Similarly guys, I'll create a new Linux server for different zones and different regions. Guys, first of all click on create instance here and then name of the server virtual server 103, then select the region as Asia, Mumbai, and select the machine series like N2 and N2 standard 2 here, machine type. As you can see here guys, the monthly estimate cost is around $69 here. I select here the Debian operating system here guys, then click on allows HTTP and HTTPS traffic for this Linux server. Then guys, click on create button icon here and wait a couple of seconds and click on refresh button here. This instance is being staged and will soon be running. Guys, wait a couple of seconds. As you can see here guys, this instance is running now, and as you can see here, the zone is Asia South 1C and region is Asia South 1. Guys, I hope so now you can understand how to create a new Linux server in multiple zone and multiple region, and how to change your operating system based on your customer requirement.